The podcast's name is Tax Trails, and it's really, there's a lot of trails to go on, there's a lot of avenues, there's a lot of paths that you can take on your trail. Our prime audience would be small business owners, people who are running their own business, who they can have employees, they might not have employees, they could have millions in revenue, they could have thousands of revenue. Really just anyone in between those parameters. Going to why Larson is a good place for this, why people should listen to the Larson's podcast. It's kind of set up in a way where it's like Tax 101, pretty much. So small business owners and people who just started out in business, owning their own business, they can listen and they'll be able to learn, understand tax law, tax rules. As a tax preparer, we look at financials through a different lens, and by listening to this podcast, they can see into that world.
Our podcast is really trying to reach our business owners, and we want to be able to give them information that will be helpful to them in understanding their taxes and maybe help them to run their business. We came up with the idea for the podcast because we have a lot of clients that are small business owners, and we see a lot of the same issues and same questions all the time, and we thought maybe we could provide some content that will help explain some of these more complex issues in an easily digestible manner.
It's not required to take a business class to start a business, and so a lot of people don't understand their tax situation, what the forms that they get at the end of the year even mean, how to keep good books, things like that. And so we're trying to really help people that we see have common issues each year around this time as we prepare their tax returns, and see if we can help them to understand what they're doing, how they can improve their business, things like that. It'll definitely affect, some of their strategic decisions. I think, understanding how you're going to be taxed and how you can prepare for how you're going to be taxed can be a real benefit to you, and it can help you grow your business and understand what you might need to do or change as it's growing as well. We see a lot of people that start a business, and sometimes they're unprepared for how that's going to impact their tax situation at the end of the year. If there's someone who's always had the same type of thing, and then suddenly they've got this brand new business and it's taken off, and they kind of can't get their arms around it. And so I think understanding how that's going to impact them will help them to make more strategic decisions as they move forward with that business.
Business owners they might be good at their business. So let's say a business owner, they do window washing, or they do concrete, or they do retail, whatever. They can be really good at doing concrete, doing retail, doing window washing, but they might not understand the accounting side of things too. So as a business owner, you have to wear a lot of hats. Well, in the Tax Trails podcast, we want to help you put those hats on, and we want to help you decide what hats to wear and what your hat should look like.
I think a lot of our ideas come from just things that we've noticed over the years. I think between Spencer, Derek, and I, we have years of experience preparing tax returns, and there's a lot of similar problems that come up across all sorts of businesses, of things that we notice people just not understanding or doing wrong in their own books.
We're going to be talking about Schedule K, K-1s. We'll talk about tax credits versus deductions. One of the ones I'm looking forward to is debunking bad TikTok tax trends. So, there's a lot of bad advice on the internet on what you can do with your taxes. And the answer to most of these is that that's all tax fraud. And so we'll debunk those, tell you what's real, tell you what's not. And those are a few things coming down the line.